Yo, what is going on everyone? Today I'm going to show you how we can do the Citadelle Day More Easter egg in a really efficient way. Now I just want to do a really quick disclaimer. This is not a speed run. This is just the way I do things. It's a really efficient way of doing the egg in my opinion. And it's extremely easy to follow. Before we get into the run, I'm going to go over which augments we need. Now, of course, you can definitely complete the Easter egg without these augments, but these ones especially are super gonna help. These are Extension on Ether Shroud and Group Shroud if you're playing with friends, Espresso on Melee Macchiato, Icky Eater, and Feated Upgrade on Voltaic. If you don't have these, don't worry, just put on the best ones that you know. And then for the loadout, I'm personally going to use the Krig. You can use anything you like. Make sure you have the drill, the shock charge, and the Molotov. We're going to also start with Frenzy Guard for one step, and then we're going to swap to Ether Shroud mid-match. So as soon as you load into your match, you're quickly going to go grab the cheese out of the cheese store, and then go and scare away this rat here. We're then going to spend the first 6 rounds in the spawn, just killing zombies, getting points, and then I'll turn my Rampage Inducer off if you're using it when the bug round starts. As soon as round 7 starts, we're going to open up the first door and then run over here, throw a shock charge at the box and get the first lightning rod. I'm then going to kill the majority of the zombies in this round, saving around 3 or 4 so that they don't turn into sprinters so I can open up the rest of the map. Make your way to Pack a Punch through the dungeon, and then once you're there, give the rat the cheese. Honestly, I recommend here, if you don't get a crystal or a tool when you're playing solo, just restart the game. It takes 5 minutes, just restart, and it will save you a lot of time. But once you get the tool or the crystal, just open up the machine and then go and speak to Kraft. So while Kraft is ranting, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to open up the secret wall, buy Vulture Raid, and then go back into the room where the wall opened and look for the Void Sword bone. During his rant, your screen will flash purple, and we can now start working on the incantations. What we're going to do is the light inside of the ninth room, we're going to shoot all of them just up until that the beam is dark red. If it's dark red, move on to the next one. All you need to do is just move around, keep tap firing it, it will eventually fix itself. Complete the whole thing until we get the brooch. Pick up the brooch, and then what we're going to do is we're going to shoot the double points in the barrier. Grab the double points, go and place the brooch, and then fill up the soul box. Once the soul box is finished, you're going to head out of the castle. On the way out, buy Juggernaut, head towards the door that you need for Deadshot, buy that, grab the horseshoe from here and the second lightning rod next to Deadshot. We're then going to use the cannon back to spawn. Once we land in spawn, look around for a black cloud, head over to below the black cloud and pick up the horseshoe again. Once you pick that up, head back to spawn, put the horseshoe into the little gold symbol on the floor, and again we're going to fill up the soul box. After finishing the soul box, I grab Speed Cola and Melee Macchiato, and then I go and throw my first Molotov here to start the fire incantation. I will then end the round and head back to where the knights are. It should now be round 10, and in this round we will get our first stamp from a helmet zombie. Use the stamp to get the void sword and then kill all of the zombies but keep one. Open up the undercroft and take the sewer slide. And at the end of the sewer slide, we're going to shoot the Raven. Shoot the Raven again out of the sky and he should drop his foot. Just pick that up. And then head down below the bar and put your Void Sword into the puzzle. Here is all the souls for the puzzles. Credit to Mr. Waffle Waffles for the graphic. All you need to do is look at which bone you have, match up the symbols and then enter that code. Once done, lead the balls into each hole 3 times while just training around the last zombie. Once finished, grab the Void Sword and then I head back to the castle and finish the soul box. Be sure to open up the box with the sword, and when finished, use the stamp that you got while filling the void box on the electric sword. Once you pick up the electric sword, immediately head downstairs to the dungeon and just kill armored zombies down here. You should get the final rod pretty quickly as he does spawn somewhere in this room. Once you have the final rod, we're going to throw the last 2 Molotovs to spawn the fire incantation, and while we do that, we're going to do the electric sword at the same time. So put the rods inside and then use Frenzy Guard to take out all the zombies and the boss. Just make sure that you do pick up the fire incantation from the doppelganger when you kill it, and be sure to melee the rods when your sword electrifies. Once the electric sword is complete, I'll then drop down and complete the fire soul box, and then here I'll also swap to Ether Shroud for the rest of the run. We're now going to finish up the last 2 swords, starting with the fire one. This one is really easy, just pick up the 3 fires and run it back to the dragon which you place the sword into. If you need health when you're running back, just punch a zombie and you'll go straight back to full health. When you do finish the fire sword, be sure to open up the box outside where you did the incantation and then do the light sword. This one's really easy, just kill a glowing parasite and then hit the door. Repeat this 4 times, interact, enter, put the sword into the stone, and shoot the symbols in the order that is shown on the stone. We're then going to use the light sword to open up the incantation and immediately swap it out for the electric sword. In the room with stamina up, there's going to be 4 scraps of paper, 1 in the hallway, 1 on the sofa or the TVs, another around this sleeping area, and the final one in the hallway back near the boxes. Collect all of these, and then the next step is the puzzle wall in the Undercroft. There is a way to skip this at the moment, but I'm unsure if Treyarch plans to keep it, so I'll have a link below which will tell you how to skip this step. Go down to the wall and punch it using your fist with melee macchiato. Don't use the sword, it won't work. This will reveal the code. Hit the slide back to spawn, and inside of the bar there will be 6 jars. Interact with each of these jars to reveal a symbol. I pause and draw down each symbol, and the order of the symbols is actually in Roman numerals, through 1 to 6. I'll show where all 6 of the symbols are located, and what we're essentially going to do is shoot these symbols on that blue wall that we just revealed in order, starting from 1 and ending with 6. Once you have all 6 of the symbols, teleport back to the castle and then buy stamina. Head back down to the wall in the Undercroft and 1 at a time shoot the symbols in order. Every time you shoot a symbol, regardless if you got it wrong or right, the wall will increase the speed and remove that symbol. You can also use the pause trick here again to locate it, unpause, and then shoot the correct one. If you're in multiplayer, just have a friend distract the zombie for you, shoot all 6, and if you did the puzzle correctly, the wall on the left will be removed and it will now show a book. Put those missing pages we collected earlier into the book. This book is now going to show you the order of which you need to activate the traps around the map. You read the book from top left, top right, bottom right. The symbols on the book will align with the traps around the map. This is what they all look like on the floor, so you can match them with the ones in your book. All you need to do is activate the correct trap and get kills while using them to complete the step. There's one next to Deadshot, one by the well, another outside the castle, 1 by stamina, and 2 in the dungeon. From experience, the last one will always be stamina. So activate all 4 traps and get kills while inside them in the order displayed by the book. Complete the step. If you're having issues matching the symbols to the book to the ones on the floor, honestly just turn them all on and try them all until the step complete. You can brute force this really easily without any issues. There's no fail state and it won't reset the book. Once you've completed all 4 of the traps that the book asks you to complete, you will now see in the staircase down to the Undercroft there is 4 symbols. These 4 symbols will match up to the elemental sword. Starting at the top and working around clockwise, you need to complete the next step. My order here is light, electric, fire, and then void. So using the order that we were just given from the wall, we're going to go back to the Sword Knights and starting with your first symbol, use the matching incantation on that knight and then inspect the matching sword in front of him. Also note that all 4 incantations can be spread around this room and collected. Do this for all 4 knights in the correct order and they will summon the mystic orb to the center of the room. We're going to use this orb for the next 4 trials. First trial can be located in this room and this is going to be the light trial. All you need to do is run through all of the orbs and send them into the mystic orb. You don't need to kill any zombies, simply just run through as many orbs as you can. The top floor orbs seem to go straight in and the bottom floor ones seem to go upper floor, and then once you run through them again, will then go into the mystic orb. All you need to do is run through all of the light orbs scattered around until completion. In the next 3 trials, the matching incantation is going to be your best friend. So be sure to take the matching sword and incantation from the knight's room with you. Next, we'll do the void trial, which is located in the Undercroft. For this, just get kills with the incantation and the sword Casimir ability until it's complete. Following the void one, we'll do the fire trial, which is just outside the castle. Again, just get kills with the incantation and the sword. And I also believe Molotovs can count for this. Finally, we'll do the electric sword trial, which is located in spawn, and the electric incantation should do this super easily for you as it is one of the best incantations. Once you have finished up all 4 of the trials, head back to the wall which showed us the symbol order, and it should now open up a secret room behind it. This room will give you a long dialogue from the owl, but you can just grab the key and move on if you don't want to listen. Now that you've got the key, the only thing between you and completing this Easter egg is the final boss. So I suggest going through a few rounds now and getting geared up, get all the perks, max out your weapon, and I'd also suggest getting a mutant injection. I'm going to be careful with suggesting what weapons to use for the boss as the meta is constantly changing. It started with the drill, but that got nerfed, but anything with a big mag and good movement speed will always be a great choice. You can always check my channel and the pinned comment for the current boss meta weapons, and I'll be sure to keep that up to date. Start the fight, I'm always going to use Ether Shroud to begin so I can remove the armor from his leg. If you break both, you can then start working on his arms or his chest, but throughout the fight I would constantly suggest to use the incantations spread around the room, as they are the best at taking down the zombies and they do replenish themselves every minute. The electric and fire incantations will one-shot every special and amalgam, so be sure to use those on them. And the light mend one is really good for keeping health spread around the entire arena whenever you do need to regen. One of the best tips I have is that when you do have Vulture smoke up in between DPS phases, stand inside of it so that you can get Ether Shroud back really fast, as having Ether Shroud for every DPS will do wonders for the damage that you can deal. But do be careful when you stood in the smoke, as you are really vulnerable standing still here. Go in the second or third phase, use your Mangler injection when you see fit, but do try to limit the amount of times that the boss hits you, as he will take a bulk of duration away every time he hits you. For that reason, I'm going to suggest that you fire the cannon at him instead of using the melee, just to maximize the amount of time that you have in your Mangler. But ultimately, you just want to keep circling the area, keep your armor up, avoid being one shot. His slam attacks are by far the most dangerous, so avoid getting close to him because he will always slam if you're near. And good luck. If you do like No Time Wasting Guide, subscribe for more. See you guys in the next one.